Peace, peace. Good morning, everyone. As they say, what goes on? Hope everybody having a good start to their morning. Definitely on this East Coast. Weather been really nice last couple days. For those that have to be out in the elements, the weather's been nice. Just wanted to share something real quick. Just thinking about something in reference to the hookup, and how the hookup could be life changing. Share a story with you guys, a real life story, how it changed people's lives in 1951, long time ago. My grandfather, after he had left Georgia, he didn't go straight to Jersey. My grandfather went to Chicago, and in Chicago he had, and my grandmother, they had 3 kids, two really small kids, and then my father was born in Chicago. My father actually is the same age as Dr. Winters. That's why me and Dr. Winters, every time we talk, I always get a kick out of when he talk about his age. But anyway, my father was a real little boy when they decided to move to New Jersey. And in the process of my grandfather moving to New Jersey, you guys, what happened was he moved to New Jersey. My uncle was the only one that met him up in New Jersey out of his family. He didn't know nobody. He didn't have no friends in New Jersey, whatever. But it was this guy that took my grandfather in with his wife, 3 kids. At the time, my grandfather didn't have a gig, didn't have no job, but he had to take care of his family. Talking about 1951, guys, 1952, them days where New Jersey, like a lot of the northern states, had all these companies, industrial companies, and so forth and so on. So my grandfather, I don't know how he met this guy, but he probably met him through the church because the guy's wife and my grandfather's wife were friends. So the guy and my grandfather started working together. And this is why I say the hookup could be life changing. And when I mean they started working together, they wasn't on the same shift. They both had different shifts. From what I understand about the story, the guy actually got my grandfather the job, and this is why the hookup was life changing. Got my grandfather the job, and him and my grandfather shared a car. One worked first shift, one worked second shift, and they shared a car. Like literally shared a car back in the early 1950s. And the hookup that, this particular guy, his name is Mr. Leslie, did for my grandfather, changed my grandfather's life. They was both working as custodians or janitors, as people say, at one of the Board of Educations in New Jersey, until my grandfather later on went to Ford. So that hookup changed his life. He was able to take care and provide 3 of his kids, and then he had 4 more once they got to New Jersey. They had a set of twins. So sometimes we need to understand that how we look out for each other, how we look out for people, it could be life changing. Nowadays, a person may have a job and they'll see a posting at the job and they won't take it home. They won't take it to people that they know. They'll say or have the mentality is, I'm not telling nobody about this job. They ain't gonna mess it up for me. Instead of saying, I'm gonna help another man be able to provide. Definitely when we talk about men, I'm gonna help another man be able to provide for his family. Because like I told you guys, That job with that board education, my grandfather was able to take care of his wife and 3 kids. My grandmother wound up going to school and then she became a nurse. However, my grandfather, he only had 2 jobs with a third grade education. He had the job at the board of education that Miss Leslie hooked him up with, then he retired from Ford. And then after that, him and my uncle, they would fix cars together while he was, retired. That was his thing he did to stay busy. So we wonder why in our jobs that we don't see a lot of people that look like us. This could be particularly one of the reasons. Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on in jobs. You may not be the hiring manager and all that so forth. But at the end of the day, what are we doing? One of my close friends, he always speaks about, paying it forward. And he's in a totally different industry than I'm in. And we talk about diversity, and I hate to use the word diversity because a lot of time for us, it's always been like this trick thing, like, you got to have the token black person. But instead, those of us that do have jobs and our jobs hiring, you see posted, what are we doing to get other people in there? What are we doing to help other people be able to provide for their families? This is the codified behavior. This is what being on code really is. Instead of looking at each other as competition, which is unfortunate that we look at each other like that, we need to look at each other as, I'm going to help this man or I'm going to help this woman be able to provide for themselves and their family. Instead of viewing each other as some type of threat. We always hear about situations where it's extreme nepotism. I mean, if you know about a situation of extreme nepotism, why don't you try it? Why don't you try to get your friends in there? Why don't you try to get your family in there? If you're in that type of situation. You want people to be at your place of employment who look like you, who think like you, because one of the things in any employment is if situations arise, nobody knows how you think. Nobody knows, definitely when you're dealing with even a cultural aspect, So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I know some of y'all probably experience the same thing. When you go to work, you see people, nobody look like you, and so forth and so on, and it's like, damn. But at the end of the day, like from that experience with my grandfather, and he would always talk about how when he came to New Jersey, he didn't have nothing, like nothing. And it was a dude who put him up, him and my uncle. And they had kids. He wasn't talking about them. And if he was talking about them, my grandfather didn't mention it. He wasn't, they went to church together. He wasn't, saying he was a charity case. He got him a job with him on a different shift, and they literally shared a car. Now, you talking about my grandparents had 3 kids at the time. Then they had the 2 twins. And then the other family had at least one child at the time that I know of. And I'm still close to that family to this day. One of the guys in the other family is my nephew's godfather. And this is how the bond always stayed close. I consider the 2 sons like they're like uncles to me. So I just wanted to share that. And being able to learn from that experience and being able to navigate, like I said, we always will get and see on the internet, diversity. And then you got all this DEI hires and all that stuff. I don't care about none of that stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, because some of the issues that we have in our community, we literally can change them. We literally can change them. Just think, if you go into work today, do you have 5 people that you know that's not working, that's in the best of situation? Do you have at least 5 people that you know would be interested in working where you work at if a job post is up? We should be able to have 5 people. It's so many people out here that's not working, not being able, or not making enough money to be able to take care of themselves. Cost of living is high. We know the wealth gap, and we know some of the solutions for the wealth gap. However, in the time being, we should still be trying to do what we got to do to be on code. But that's all I wanted to say. And we'll just share that real quick and, get you guys' opinion. Claude, what's going on, brother? Wayne, what's going on? All right, you guys take care. Have a great day. Talk to y'all later.